A slim young lady in her 20s with brown braided pigtails enters the room. She has thick eyebrows, buck teeth and bad pale skin. She wears a white apron over her blue and red striped skirt.
She looks lovely, but I prefer the plump and meaty kind, if you know what I mean. I wink at her.
She heaves a heavy sigh and wipes her face with a dirty washcloth.
Oh, well, if I'm to your liking, I guess it can all be arranged.
Apologies for my friends. We have been on the road for several days now, madam. You have been most kind to us. And how much will it cost for the food and drinks?
She smiles at you for the first time since you've arrived.
Oh, please don't bother. You've already paid so much for the room. Eat and drink as much as you like. There's more in the kitchen if you're still hungry. Name's Betcha, by the way.
Didn't that deer die last week? I whispered to Reskandor.
Once you've all had your fill of the ale and green venison, a group of 3 young men barge into the establishment. They look like peasants and seem to have a bit too much to drink.
Hey, there's more piss water here if you're thirsty.
I make a side glance at them and make sure they get a look at my great sword. I pay them no heed.
Bloody hell! You'll have to replace that door if you're going to use them like that.
Sorry, Mum, one of them says. They bowed low, looking embarrassed. The youngest motions for Olga to approach. She obliges, and they all go outside to discuss something.
Interesting. Seems like a jealous patron.
Just some local friends of Olga. They're harmless.
The woman reverts her attention back to Reskandor.
And for you, Randy man, that will cost you 50 silver. Don't expect me to make you breakfast in the morning, though.
You all unpack your bags and retire for the day. All 4 of you had a good night's rest. You awaken the next morning fully refreshed, despite the bad ale and mouldy food. However, you notice a long, anxious face from Bettia.
Did I do anything wrong to offend you? Paid you the 50 last night, didn't I?
It's not that. Remember the men who came in yesterday? Well, they informed Olga that 2 cows were missing from one of the neighbours. This is the 3rd time this moon that it happened. Since you seem to be strong adventurers and all, do you think you can help take a look at it?
Surely. And where might this place be?
It's just about 3 miles up north. We suspect that a huge worm-like monster has been eating them. It has several tentacles and sharp sickle-like teeth. They only come out at night. We're worried that if the cows run out, they will come after the children. Oh no, not the children, please.
She sighed deeply before continuing.
And how much do you think this will cost us?
Worry not, we'll do it free of charge.
Free? We haven't even started and you're already putting us at risk of losing our heads?
We don't have much, but we have some fresh horses if you will accept them as payment.
Don't mind my old friend. He's always been fearful of these things.
We've been on the road for 3 days now without any action. Might as well stretch our bones and swing some swords.
Hey, that's the spirit. Galur, you might want to start taking notes from the boy.
It makes no difference to me. Seems like this one's a glabber. Deadly folk. They burrow themselves deep in the ground during the day and resurface at night to hunt. From what I recall, they usually reside in swamps. Are there any marshes nearby?
Not that I know of. All we have here are hills and flatlands.
Something or someone must have disturbed it. I'll prepare my spells before leaving.
You head out to the said location. There are lots of open green fields and pastures, and a few trees. A number of grazing goats and cattle are found by the roadside.
We'll camp out in one of the bigger trees and wait until nightfall.
I'll light a small bonfire when it gets dark and stand guard for anything out of the ordinary.
Galur, what do you think of this goblet that we're supposed to retrieve? Have you ever come across it in your studies?
Now that you've mentioned it, I do recall something. D-Dent. Remember that time near Raven Hallow when we were hung to die? Well, one of the demons mentioned something about an ancient goblet that has powerful abilities.
Yes, but that must have been over 30 years ago.
Seems like this artifact goes back to the creation of the land. The goblet grants the bearer the ability to...
Wait, have you heard that?
Heard what? All I hear are Reskandor's farts.
Shh. Quiet.
After a few seconds, you're all startled and hurled back 8 feet from where you were currently seated as a huge beast erupts out of the ground in the middle of your camp. Its enormous maw bites all of you as you all suffer some damage. The beast, standing 9 feet with sharp teeth and several tentacles, looms over you.
I cast mage armor on myself and move 20 feet diagonally behind Amari.
An earthen glow surrounds you as you cast your spell, but the glabber attempts to bite you galore as you move away. The creature choked on a mound full of earth since you were too quick to dodge his bite. You gain a sliver of an opening for a counterattack.
I poke at the creature's right eye with my quarterstaff before moving back to my desired position.
I take out Foxblade and do 2 attacks on the creature's backside.
Your valiant efforts fall short as you underestimate the glabber's hide.
I bring my holy greatsword above my head, smiting evil, and swing at the creature downwards once and then a second time, diagonally across its face.
The creature shrieks in pain with your first attack and is surprised that you were able to pierce its natural armor. It then turns to face you, Amari, as its huge shark-like teeth attempt to bite you.
I heave my dwarven Urgrosh of defending and do 3 strikes to the creature's backside.
Your futile efforts are wasted as its thick shell-like skin glistens in the evening moon.
I pick up a rock, speak a few spell incantations, and then make some elaborate arm gestures before casting Fireball centered on the glabber.
The glabber and Dedent manage to partially dodge the fireball, but are damaged nonetheless. But Amori and Reskandor suffer its full force.
Bloody hell.
Galur, are you blind? Didn't you see that we're surrounding the creature?
I try to carve out the creature's back once more, swinging twice for good measure. I take a 5-foot step backward after I make my attack.
You hack away with a sheer amount of force at the creature from behind, but your sword simply bounces off its tough outer shell. Your ankle gets caught in one of its tentacles as you take your step back, tripping you prone.
I hack and cleave at the glabber once more, aiming at the same spot I hit earlier. I take a 5-foot step back after I make my attack to avoid any damage from fireballs.
The creature anticipates your strike this time, where its head partially turns to the left as he blocks your holy great sword with its short tentacles. The glabber, sensing someone fell behind him, turns towards Dedent and bites at his legs.
I lay my hands on my charred chest as I utter some divine words of healing. I cast Cure Critical Wounds on myself. I also take a 5-foot step back.
I pick up another rock, speak a few words, and cast another fireball centered on the glabber, hoping to destroy him this time.
How many of those does he have?
A ball of flame exudes from your hands as you hurl it across the hulking behemoth. It slightly hovers around the creature before detonating on its head with a low roar. The creature winces in pain, but it's still standing. It lets a high-pitched growl at all of you. Now it seems like he's about to dig himself into the ground.
Oh no, you won't. Not on my watch. I take out a small black wand from my vest pocket as I stand from my prone position. I recite some invocations and then point them toward the glabber. I create an electrical discharge that begins as a single stroke from my wand and erupting full-on towards the creature's open mouth.
The creature quietly winces in pain and then slowly falls to the ground, lifeless. Its face and body burnt from all the spells it received.
Who's down for some roasted glabber? I heard they taste like fish.
By Dumathoan's beard, what the hell were you thinking firing like that unannounced?
I took the chance, since it was the only way we could trap it without a way of escape.
Aye, at our expense.
We wouldn't be here if you didn't agree to free work from Betcha.
Pipe down, lads. We're on the same team. You should have announced it ahead of time so that we can take the needed precautions, my friend.
All right, all right. I apologize. Now quit the bickering and let's get this creature skinned fast so we could eat.
You savor the roasted glabber, pairing it with a fine drink that you brought along with you. You have not tasted such a delicious meal in days. Though it's a quieter meal than usual since all of you contemplate on the battle that just happened and what still lies on the road ahead.
After the meal, I pulled Dident onto the side. So how long do we have till Farrowwind?
4 days.
That key better be there. I don't think I can last 4 more days with that grunt.
Take it easy with Reskandor. He must feel bad for not landing on the glabber. And I think they're still not used to our underhanded tactics.
Serves him right. All bark, no bite.
It's the warrior's life. The life we chose. Either this or we stay penniless in Stormwell.
You penniless? Ha! That would be the day.
Let's just say that I'm still not getting the returns I expected from my investments.
It's because of those damn wizards. We need to find a way to stop their evil plans. Do you think we can count on Caiaphas when the time comes?
I've lost all faith in men. Not that I'm saying he's untrustworthy. You said something about the goblet before that creature appeared.
Between you and me, if my memory serves me right, I believe this is the goblet of true wisdom. If it's indeed that one, this can alter the course of history. It grants the bearer to predict an immediate future.
Are the predictions accurate?
Based on ancient texts, when 2 armies were at war, if one of the generals drank from the goblet, he would easily be able to alter and influence events that could lead to their victory.
Do you think our blue wizard knows about this?
I believe so. Precisely the very reason why I asked if we could count on him. We cannot risk it falling into the wrong hands. Remember what happened to the Mask of the Skull? Armies decimated at the wave of a hand.
Well, we can always steal it back if things go awry.
I doubt we'll have those two with us when that happens. We have to think about these things, Dedent, before accepting jobs.
We can consider it all we want, but at the end of the day, we still have to eat just like everyone else. If not us, some other party will be at their beck and call.
This is why we need to plan our next recourse, if things go against our favor.
Hey there, what are you two talking about? We're not splitting the group now just because of a small misunderstanding, are we?